If you're wondering what kind of information Python can handle, well, it's a lot more than just numbers and words. Hey, I'm Skyler Fines, and in this module, we're going to be talking about the building blocks of Python, data types. Whether it's text, numbers, or something in between, data types are how Python knows what we're working with. We'll cover the most common types, strings, integers, and floats, and how you'll use them in your code. First up, let's talk about strings. Strings are just sequences of characters. Think of anything inside quotes. Whether it's your name or a sentence, it's considered a string in Python. And you've already played around with these a little bit. Next, we have integers. These are whole numbers like 7 or 100. They are used all the time in programming, whether it's counting or doing calculations. Finally, let's talk about floats. Floats are numbers with decimal points, like 3.14 or 0.5. You'll use these when you need more precision than just whole numbers. A variable is like a label that you put on a piece of data so that you can use it for later. For example, if you want to store the name of a food, I could write food equals apple. Now, every time I use food, Python knows it means apple. Well, which data type do you think this variable is now storing? If you said a string, you'd be correct. But variables aren't just for strings. They can be other data types as well. For instance, cost equals 2.75 stores the float 2.75 in a variable called cost. You can use this throughout your code, and it's much easier than writing out the number over and over again. Now about comments. Comments are your way of leaving notes in your code. They're not for Python, they're for you. To write a comment, just add a hashtag in front of your text. For example, this variable stores how much the apple costs. Comments make it easier to remember what your code does and are especially useful when you come back to your code later. Imagine you're trying to read code from one of your friend's apps and you want to give them feedback. Well, without comments and some other documentation, which we'll cover later, it can be frustrating to figure out how everything works. You'd end up reverse engineering or testing parts of the code, which could be avoided with a simple comment. This is why naming your variables clearly is a smart move. Here's a cool tip for working in VS Code or most IDEs. We're going to be writing a lot of code and it can get really messy. So to isolate the code that you want to run, you can comment everything else out. Instead of doing this manually, you can use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl// to comment out your highlighted code quickly. Now you know strings, integers, and floats. Variables make your code reusable and comments make your code understandable. Two things that will make coding much smoother for you. So take a few minutes and play around with variables and comments. Try storing different data types of information and leaving comments to explain what you're doing. I'll see you in the next one.